I think that's where Bitcoin really shines. I think it's some of the hardest money that's ever been created in the world. Senator Gillibrand mentioned there will be 4 committees involved in this bill. So we'll want to go through and sort out how the bill can be divided among the committees and then continue to meet with all of their members, not just the chairs, but all of their members. The fact that we're on several of these committees helps. We've met with the chairs and ranking members of all of the committees of jurisdiction. They know we're working on it. They know our approach. They know that we're trying to just fit the digital asset world into our current regulatory framework and have a general overview of how we're going about it.
Are you holding anything outside of Bitcoin in your crypto portfolio?
I am not.
Central banks around the globe are really looking at how to provide more inclusive payment structures, more inclusive payment tokens. And so that's in one area as a catalyst for change, but it's also other payment system providers are looking to say, how do we provide payment systems that operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and at lower cost, both cross-border and domestically. Blockchain technology itself is a shared accounting system, if I might say. And I think that's also led to some new thoughts about how to do trade finance and even medical records technology and the like. So I teach it. I'm neither a maximalist nor a minimalist, but I think that it's really been a catalyst for change in numerous areas.
Well, I have a lot to learn about blockchain itself. My only understanding of it is the application of Bitcoin, but it'll be interesting to see how it's useful in other areas.
Senator Lummis and Congressman Davidson, the U.S. banking system, it's really put a lot of work into keeping decent folks unbanked. And there really are a lot of underserved communities who are basically treated as non-people by the U.S. banking system, and they're kept out. And I mean, establishment cancel culture came for some of these people decades ago. And there's so many Bitcoin companies trying to change that dynamic, but all they get is hate from Washington, D.C., especially from the politicians who are supposed to be so woke and in love with the poor. So what gives?
Well, it's my personal feeling that banking is really worried about having their business model change so dramatically by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that they're reacting in fear. And when all of us, when we're getting into the unknown and we think it's going to change our livelihoods, our existence, our business model that we've been comfortable with, would probably react in fear. So what we need to do is work with the banks to help them understand how significantly Bitcoin can advance their ability to do same-day settlements, to do more direct settlements, and make their banking lives more efficient and reduce their risk. But in addition, for the unbanked, just think, if you have a cell phone, you can be your own banker. And that's what Bitcoin does for unbanked communities, people on Indian reservations, people in poor neighborhoods. If they are not banked, they can be their own banker using their cell phone. And that is one of the great egalitarian, wonderful things about Bitcoin that I'm so excited about.
Here in Dubai, at Ripple Regionals, we've seen Abu Dhabi Global Markets on stage. And Ripple has been engaging with lots of central banks around the world. Why is Ripple doing that?
Well, you know, central banks are both regulators of their financial ecosystem, but also they operate the payment systems in their own countries. So when new technology like this comes along, they can be inhibitors of the use of that technology or really catalysts for innovation. So since Ripple is bringing new tech to the marketplace, central banks are critical to our success.
How else is Ripple engaging with central banks?
Well, really two fronts. One is on the policy side. Folks like Ryan Zagon and his team engage with them on the development of thoughtful regulatory policy. In my role at Ripple, I'm more interested in getting central banks to get their feet wet with DLT and with crypto assets. And that allows them to understand how this tech could be utilized to make payments faster, cheaper, and real time. And that makes a big difference in the adoption of these technologies by the banks or other payment providers in their countries.
And what kind of results are you seeing in terms of adoption?
So for example, last year we partnered with SAMA, which is the central bank for Saudi Arabia, and that resulted in 4 major banks starting their digitization journey on RippleNet. Here, for example, Bahrain and Abu Dhabi Global Markets are leading the world in the development of regulatory frameworks for the use of crypto assets, and that's got to be a good thing for the ecosystem.
Maybe I should take what the IMF is going to do.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to our channel for the latest in crypto news daily.